I have my paper because I'll feel more comfortable that way. Yeah, that's actually hard to see with that. Okay. Thank you for coming and for showing your support. It means so much to all of us. Can't believe we're here doing this, but here we are. We know that we have the best job in the world, so where to start and what to say when we might have to say goodbye to the age. I feel like I've only just started, and like many of us in the room, Simon Schlitter over there somewhere, it took years to get a foot in the door. Thanks Banksy, not that he's here, and thanks Lee. I was rocking along nicely for a bit, then met my beautiful husband, wherever he is. Thanks Sunday Life magazine. I had my two incredible boys and took a bit of a backseat. Well, I'm not ready to go just yet. I'm just about to hit my straps. Taking pictures each day out in the world is an absolute delight. People talk about workplace culture. Well, you truly could not find a more committed, intelligent, passionate, independent, ethical bunch. And we're fun. We're unique. There's so much integrity in our newsroom, and not just talking about the photographers there, I mean all of us. I don't think our photographic team has really ever been as happy as we have been up until the last couple of weeks. We've really grown up together and helped each other through our highs and lows. Angela Wiley and I talk about this all the time. Who knew when we became friends in year 9, travelling to school on the country bus together, that we would end up here? We just couldn't believe our luck when in year 11 we got to do photography and we were the only two in our class. Little did we know of the adventures that we were yet to embark on as photographers for the age. It still blows us away. We've even been to Wali, a small village army base in the Uruzgan province of Afghanistan. It was so comforting arriving there for me, knowing that Ange had been there the year before. It's the best job in the world. I have adventures all day, and I can still be home to give my boys a kiss goodnight. What I love most is meeting people in their homes, taking their portrait, creating something where there was nothing before. Often, people's lives have been forever changed at the very moment I'm meeting them. As photographers for the age, we take that responsibility very seriously. It might be when their autistic son is dragged from the river, didn't survive, or when they're, in another family's case, when their son is delivered home safely to them from a river. The pictures we take inform Melbourne. We're, not me necessarily, but the team, very talented, knowledgeable, and a top bunch. We're out at the coalface, feeding information back to the journos, adding colour, because so often these days you're tied to your desks, you poor things. It's a huge responsibility, and it involves a high level of trust. I spoke of adventures. It might just be, the day that you get to, instead of seeing the Shrine of Remembrance, you get to actually be walking around inside the roof of it. I've witnessed babies being born, and I've seen them take their first breath. I was standing on the side of the road by the dam near Winchelsea when Robert Farquharson's car was pulled out, his 3 sons lost in its freezing depths. There's so much joy in what we do. Not that, obviously. Last week I met the Kershaw family in their Thornbury home. It was a Carolyn Webb job. In one photo I had to get, and these people are barely awake, a family of 4, a cat, a chook, a veggie garden, and some live trout, all looking, friendly for the camera. Most of you know what my job's been for the last 2 years, but I'm the early morning newsbreaker at the moment. So I kind of figure out what would be good to be looking at while you're having your brekkie. We get to bear witness and share with all of you what we take photos of in the age. Our voice is unique and independent. We tell stories that need to be told. I got the front page today and it is still such a thrill. The very first day. That's sort of all I was going to say, but I have got photos to show you if you want, or you could ask questions. But I also wanted to say thank you so much to Rania, wherever she is, and Bridie and Jane, and Beck and Ben and Tony for being the MC, and to Jace, obviously. You know, well, it takes two types of photographers to work in a newspaper. You need only one Jason South, and then you need a few, you know, different photographers like me, normal people. Not normal Jason, I didn't mean that, but you know what I mean. You can only have one Jason South, and thank God we've got Jason South. And a very special thanks to my nearly entire family who are here tonight. Thank you very much. So questions, or we don't need to shoot the photos. Questions? Any questions?
Without notice.
You'd rather do the photos.
You'd rather do the photos? You've seen the photos.
How long have you been a photographer, Ben?
20 years or more.
Yeah.
Well, if you count when I was at school with Ange, maybe a little bit longer. Not much longer.
Tell us about the Melbourne Cup shot.
That's Ange's. She can tell you about that. It was windy in a tunnel and she was there, and it's amazing. And we love it more than ever, that photo.
What's your favourite shot, Penny?
I don't have one. A bit like Jason, I have not even started. I've got so much to do.
Tell us about the little foot, the little baby shot.
Oh, okay. That was a story about some very, very preemie babies, and that mum was changing the nappy of her little baby, Joshua, and he was in a very precarious state at that point, and she just had to bury his twin brother a few days earlier, so it was very sad. But, yeah, beautiful.
Can you say what you because photographers often only have a few minutes to sort of suss out what's happening. What do you look for? What do you pick when you get there?
Sometimes, as I said to Chris, sometimes I feel like it's sorry, the question was, Jane, say it again.
When you only have a little time when you get to a job, how do you know what to look for, and
how do you know what to look for when you only have a little bit of time when you get to a job? Well, two things I can say about that. With today's front page, someone said to me this afternoon that apparently on AW this morning they were sat talking about my photo, wondering whether it was digitally imaged. I'm like, how rude. Because no, definitely not. That was, I only had a few minutes to do that job. So I just had to go in, set up my flashes. I got the, Chelsea, whatever she is, the media person to stand in there and as the footballer. She wasn't quite tall enough. And just do the photo in 3 minutes, just get in and out really, really quickly.
Hey Penny, I've seen some photographers do some crazy stuff to get shots.
Hi Jules.
Hi. I'm wondering if you've got any great stories about the lengths that photographers have gone to, including maybe breaking the law, to get a shot.
Are you talking about me? Have I done that?
No.
Can
be you or others.
I don't know, security guards are our natural enemy. And, I often feel like, remember that show, Thank God You're Here? I sometimes feel like we're a bit like that. Like, we'll be late to some job and someone's waiting for us to do their photo and barely we have the address, let alone know their name or what it's about or anything like that. But you sort of, as you're parking the car and running from the entrance through these various backstage doors or whatever to the person you're meant to be photographing, you sort of glean the information along the way. But that doesn't answer your question. Oh yeah, bushfire roadblocks, you know. You just don't worry about them. Yeah, you break laws all the time, but you know, it's just part of the fun, I suppose. Hey?
They're not laws, they're bylaws.
Oh, that's right. Bylaws. Exactly.
Penny, do you ever find it's almost thankless, like you photograph famous people all the time, you might do a beautiful shot of them, yet they might not get to see you again to actually say, you know, the 2 minutes that I was whinging there about posing, you've actually produced a beautiful shot.
Do I find that thankless?
Yeah.
Not at all, because it's such a privilege and an honour every single time. Like you're creating a little something every time you do that between the subject and yourself, and it's special every time. Like it's a collaboration, like the photo of Paul Hester that's up there. I mean, I love that one because that's what we do. We go to people's houses and we have a bit of a yak, and you know, they learn to trust you enough for their photo to be taken, and then I suggest that we do the shot in his bedroom, and he's like, yeah, no worries. He goes, can I have my favourite piece of art with me? I'm like, yeah, no worries, and you know, we're all happy. It's great. So no, I don't feel like it's thankless ever. Maybe court sometimes. That can be thankless. Not yours, Butch, of course. You're a delight, Butch, we know that.
Penny, has there ever been a time when you bailed out a journo?
Bailed out a journo.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I don't know, I can't think of. I mean, there are too many. No, I don't know. What was that, Ange? Oh, what? Chris.
Don't bring me into it. Have you been on jobs together? How many jobs?
Yeah, not for a while. We will though. Go on jobs together.
How's the marriage counselling going?
Oh, that's funny. Question? I'll answer a million questions, but you have to ask them. Yeah?
Yeah, Carl here.
Hi, Carl.
Okay. I'd just like to say on behalf of probably the other journalists, but certainly on behalf of me, for every time I've been running late, for every hotel room, for every meddling PR person, and you know, all the rest of it, I'd like to apologise. I'd like to say thank you for the magic you work, in spite of all of it.
Thanks. Well, you know, we're a very special team, the Age photographers. We're very...
Oh, Lee's got a question.
Lee.
Tell us about Afghanistan, what it was like being a woman there, obviously.
Oh my God. Well, Lee said to me one day, do you want to go to Afghanistan? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Oh, that'd be amazing. And then I cried for an entire week, including on my birthday and Ange's birthday. I cried on both those days because it was the same week. And yeah, just thought, how can I possibly go to Afghanistan when I've got these two beautiful boys, and what if something happens, and how selfish, and that would be terrible. But then I went, and it was the most awesome thing ever, and I found that actually it was quite a lot more relaxing than working at the Age and running a house and being a mum and a wife. I was like, this is really relaxing. I kept saying to people, I can't believe how relaxing this is. It's really weird. It was really weird.
Are you calling our house a war zone?
But also, actually being there was an absolute privilege to be there with the Australian soldiers. They were incredible. It was amazing. It was such a special thing to go with Dan Oakes. He was amazing. And going to where Ange had been the year before, I mean, what are the chances of that, really? It's just crazy. And being a woman there was fine, but other women found that pretty weird, I think, and the men especially found it very strange that I was sort of dressed like a man, but I was actually a woman. It was a bit weird. But yeah, it was amazing.
Tell us about Dick Pratt's jet.
Dick Pratt's jet. Well, the night that I went down to Beaconsfield when it was discovered that the miners were alive. It was Sunday night. I was at the Raw Comedy Festival at the Town Hall. Got a call, quick, head out to Essendon Airport. We've got a jet. get on it. It was with Andy Rule and Bill Shorten and his secretary, and it was just the 4 of us on the plane. It was just all walnut. The whole thing, leather and walnut. And didn't even have a drink because I just didn't know when I was ever going to get some sleep, and so I was being really studious and, didn't have a drink, which was quite silly probably. And that's how I ended up at Beaconsfield. I came home before they came out because it, went on for so long, but yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Have you been on a Ben Butler job?
I haven't had the pleasure of going on a Ben Butler job, have I? With you, anyway, I don't think. No.
He's never up.
Yeah. Anything else?
Who's your favourite journo?
You, Jules! Oh, yeah. Or Chris. The most ridiculous request. A really fun, ridiculous request from the photo desk was when, it was discovered that, our, what is it called? Our readers, the AB demographic or whatever from Mount Waverley, it was decided it should be Mount Waverley where we went to, but apparently they were drinking too much Coke. So we had to go to Mount Waverley, I can't remember who it was with, and just knock on people's doors and ask if we could see their fridge and look inside it. Was it you, Jill? Was it you? How funny was that? That was so awesome. And we had to just say, can we come in? We work for The Age and we have to take a photo of your fridge. And they're like, all right. Sometimes they said all right, sometimes they... There was only a couple of people that said no.
Yeah, Tony Abbott's fridge.
No. Mostly people said yes, we could look in their fridge, which we thought was a bit weird. But we looked in there anyway. So that was a bit weird. Not weird, just silly. Huh?
Foley job.
A Foley job. Oh. I don't know. I can't remember. There are 100. But actually I liked a lot of his jobs though. They were fun. At least you got to do them for a whole week and you didn't have to do anything else. Anyway, you're all awesome. We love you. We don't want to leave, do we, guys? We think it's the best place ever, and we're a really good bunch, us photographers. And Melbourne better not fucking forget it. Melbourne actually won't forget it. It's just Fairfax who is forgetting it. But, their loss, our gain, eventually, hopefully. Thank you very much.